Yep, that works. So, yeah, did you want to maybe give the audience a introduction
Oh,
about your
sure. Like, first of all, I would like to thank each one of you for being here and watching this live, this joint live between the Prometric and ILIA English Academy. So a brief introduction about our school. ILIA English Academy is a Vancouver-based online language school for CELPIP, CALE, IELTS, ESL, French, and Spanish with 28 years of professional background. And we are currently delivering all our courses online to students from all around the world. Our teachers are located in Vancouver, Toronto, Montreal, and Calgary, because our Spanish teacher is, and Costa Rica, because our Spanish teacher is Costa Rican, and she is in Costa Rica, and she gets connected from there. And we are proud to be a CELPIP Network official member and approved center in Canada, offering both training courses and mock tests to aspirant applicants. So we do lots of different courses in our school. We do general English, we do power English, we do IELTS preparation, IELTS mock test, CELPIP preparation, CELPIP mock test, CALE preparation, CALE mock test. We do job interview preparation classes, free discussion classes. We do essay writing, English grammar clinic, French, and Spanish.
That's a very exhaustive list.
Yeah.
That's good.
Right. Yeah, thank you.
Yep. Yeah, so, yeah, and then basically, I'm sure many of you know me already, but I work on the CELPIP team at Prometric, which is the company that owns CELPIP and CALE. So, yeah, I work in business development, and I've been with CELPIP for about 5.5 years. So, time flies, getting old, but, yeah, here to answer questions from the audience as well as from the host, Sarush, today. And, yeah, I just wanted to learn more, Sarush, about your prep programs that you offer.
Sure. Actually, what we do, like, in our CELPIP classes, so first of all, like when a student calls for CELPIP classes, so we ask them some questions. What we do is that we do not like actually sell the whole package to the students. So we basically customize everything for the students. Like we do a kind of needs analysis. So because we believe that the students' time and the students' money, both are, the students' energy, they're all very important and precious. So what we need to do is that, because especially these days, when somebody calls for a class, they're in a rush to get the score like in 2 or 3 weeks time. So they never called it, they never called for a test that they're gonna have after 6 or 7 months. So mostly they're in a rush to get a score like after 2 or 3 weeks, or like maximum 2 months. So what we need to do is to do a kind of needs analysis. So we do a kind of like consultation with them over the phone for about 20 minutes or like half an hour, depending on the number of questions that that student has, and like he asks us over the phone. So based on his background and present knowledge of English and the score he wants, so we provide them with the best package for them. So we actually make a bundle for the students. So as I told you, we don't sell them the whole package. Maybe one student needs the whole package from us. So what we do is that, so let me tell you generally about our courses. So if a student is a 5 or a 6 in CELPIP, and he would like to improve 3 band scores, so what we do is that our semi-group classes with 4 to 6 students, in semi-group classes, they can finish the whole course. The whole package is for 40 sessions. So it means that 8 sessions for reading, 8 sessions for listening, 8 sessions for speaking, 8 sessions for task 1 writing, and 8 sessions for task 2 writing. So altogether, the whole package of CELPIP course at ILIA English Academy is 40 sessions. And with 4 to 6 students in every class, and every session is 90 minutes. So, and we finish every skill in 1 month. So it means like 2 days a week and 8 sessions a month. So in 5 months, somebody can reach a band score of 8 from 7, or 9 from 6, or 10 from 7. Okay.
Yeah.
But if you if you are the rush and you want to do it faster, I mean, you need the whole package. You need the whole package, and you want to do it faster, you can do it in 20 sessions or maximum 25 sessions privately. So, and interestingly, the thing is, I mean, it's faster, but at the same time, a little bit cheaper than the group classes. So, because we have so many students calling us for, I mean, private classes, for semi-group classes, but most of the times we have lots of private classes. And we also do like private classes to 2 students in every class too. So this is all about what we do in our CELPIP classes. So we are very fast-paced. Normally students do not stay with us for a long time because we, after the needs analysis that we do, so we give them the thing that they want. So we don't beat around the bush, or we don't waste our time. So that's generally what we do in our CELPIP classes.
That's great. Yeah, it sounds like a good opportunity. And yeah, I like that, like you have the semi-group classes where like there's a smaller amount of students, so each student gets like quality time with the teacher. So it's not like, 40 students and 1 teacher kind of thing. So that's good. Yeah. So, and then what's the best way, I guess, to get in touch with you if you're interested in joining these classes?
So, if you, those who are interested in joining our classes, they can go to our bio on Instagram. So there's a telephone number. So you can contact us on WhatsApp using that phone number, or you can DM us here on Instagram. So you can send us a direct message, and our admin is always like there to respond to the questions and like to the inquiries and all the things that the students would like to know about us. We've tried our best to be very quick in responding to all the requests, questions, and the queries that like the students have had so far.
That's great. Yeah. So yeah, feel free to ask me any questions, Sarush, you have. We can also take questions from the audience too.
Yeah. We are expecting to in our ad we had written that it's going to be a QA session with all the students. So if anybody, if you have any questions, please write your questions in the comment box here. Patrick and I will be here to answer all the questions. So there is this question here. So let's go to the top, like to see if you have any questions, and so that we don't miss anything. Let's see. Okay.
Yeah, Sarush is an expert with preparing for CELPIP, so definitely don't be shy and take advantage of his expertise.
Oh, thank you. So in writing task 1, his period comes after our name, at last. What does that mean? His period comes after our name, at least. At last.
I think that would be writing an email, task number 1. So if you're putting your name, then at the end, like, best regards, and then your name. I think that's
no period after name. No period.
Yeah.
No. Now I got the question. No period.
Yeah, it would just be like writing an email. So typically we don't put a period after our name. So it's yeah.
But don't forget to put a comma after yours sincerely or yours faithfully.
Yes.
Like many students forget. Many students forget.
Yeah, that's important.
Oh, Patrick, I have a question for you. There is this question that many of our students ask us a lot. So when they go for the CELPIP test, in reading and listening, some parts are repeated 2 times. I mean, like they get like, I mean, 2 parts 3, for example,
Yeah.
in reading, or 2 parts, I mean, 2 times. They need to answer 1 part 2 times. So could you explain a little bit about this thing? Because like we have so many our students asking us this question.
Yeah, sure. So basically, in listening or reading, it is very common that you will receive 2 parts. So, like for example, 2 parts of part three. So it's not a mistake. It's actually an unscored item. So most people that take CELPIP will have an unscored item in either the listening or reading sections of their test. So it's just like an additional question in the same part. So you won't know which one is unscored and which one is the real test question. So we recommend you to approach every question the same as if it is scored. Yeah, so that's it's pretty common in a CELPIP test. So most likely you will have an unscored item in your CELPIP test, and it's basically to for test research purposes. So it's to test questions that we might use on future tests. So we're just trying to gauge the performance level in order to see if it is a suitable question to include on a future test. So that's the reason behind it. But you won't know which one is scored and unscored. So just do your best on every question. But mostly everybody has them in their CELPIP test, so you don't have to feel like you're the only one that has another question, an additional question. Like pretty much everybody's going to have that, so everyone's on the same page. And has like the same amount of questions typically. So, yeah, that's a good question.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
And somebody has asked here, what is the cost of the course? In Canada, is 280.
Yeah.
If you're in Canada, yeah.
Yeah.
But
it does vary a little bit. Like I know in Dubai, I think it's like $340. So it does depend on the country and the cost of living, stuff like that. So,
right.
Yeah.
And in speaking how the evaluation will be, I got only 8. How to improve? Patrick, do you have an answer or?
I would say like I'm not really, I don't have a teaching background. My colleague Brandy is great for that, but I would say try recording yourself with your phone or computer and then playing it back. Just so that you can kind of have an outsider's perspective of how you sound. That can be really effective, is to record yourself pretending to give a response and then playing it back. Another thing is, be very descriptive. Like if you're given a minute to talk, make sure you use the full amount of time to give a very detailed analysis or response. You can, if you're being asked to talk about a great time that you had or great vacation, it doesn't have to be a personal experience. You can make something up. But basically, speaking is human scored, so it does go to multiple raters who will all separately score you, and then basically an average will be taken amongst all the rater scores, and that will be your overall CELPIP speaking grade.
Yeah.
Just trying to think if I have any other tips. Don't worry about your accent, because our raters have an extensive background of evaluating people with accents. And most people that take CELPIP, English is not their first language, so they are coming in with a bit of an accent. It's funny, people say I have an accent, so most people have some type of accent.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, can I ask something here?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So the thing is, like, there is this thing, there is this like belief among so many test takers that you see, I've been living in Canada for 20 years. Like, I work for a Canadian company. I speak like English 10 hours per day. My English is very fluent. And I'm like listening, speaking tests of CELPIP is going to be a piece of cake for me. So 1 minute is like nothing. Like I can just like use some sentences and fill up the time with like 5, 6, 10 sentences. The thing is, you should know what the examiner expects from you. So just going there and like speaking nonstop like a native speaker does not guarantee that you will get the like 12 out of 12 in speaking. So you need to do the strategy for every single part. Like for example, like for the advice part for question number 1. So we always like to tell the students that there are 5 ways to give advice to the students. Number 1, use modal verbs like should, shouldn't. The other one, use second conditional. Put yourself in that person's position. If I were you, I would do something. Number 3, why don't you do something? How about doing something? Number 4, there are 5 different ways of giving advice to students to use in the advice part, or for the personal experience. So in the personal experience part for question number 2, you should talk about something which happened in the past, and now it's your personal experience. So how many tenses do we have in the past? We have 7. We have past simple, past continuous, past perfect simple, past perfect continuous, used to, had to, and third conditional. So if you use a variety of grammatical structures in your responses, and you also consider the other important things in CELPIP speaking tests and the things that the examiner would like to hear from you, so you will definitely get a good score. Plus the things that Patrick mentioned, there's so many things involved. But if you're an 8, it's not hard to get a 10. So and even higher. Oh, one thing I need to tell you here. So you saw on the ad that we are giving gifts, Prometric and ILIA English Academy. So ILIA English Academy is giving 1 free of charge online CELPIP session to whoever is online right now and DMs us or like text us on WhatsApp. So if you're here and you would like to receive 1 free of charge CELPIP session, online CELPIP session, so DM us here, send us a text message and write us your full name. And then we will get back to you and we will schedule a session together. And Prometric?
Yeah, that's great value, Sarush. So basically, yeah, we have our free study product giveaway as well. So you can just use the code that I typed in there. It starts with ILIA, and then it has the series of letters after. So if you put that code in to redeem CELPIP Accelerate Listening and Speaking, you'll get that product for free. So you have to redeem it before end of day on Monday. So you can redeem it anytime now, and it will give you CELPIP Accelerate Listening and Speaking. So it will help you prepare for those 2 sections. And just use the code on the bottom there. Its code is ILIA, and then it's like JTX. So wish there was some way I could pin it. Yeah. And Sarush will also have it on his story as well if you miss it during the session today. So.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
And there's another question here. In the reading section, what advice can you give in passing this section? Because I find the time runs so fast.
I would say just one thing I could add is, make sure you answer every question because you don't lose marks for guessing wrong. So even if you don't know a question, it is better for you to just pick an answer rather than to leave it blank if you don't know it, because then you're leaving potential points on the table. So even if you guess and you get it right, then you get the points for that question. So you do not lose marks for guessing wrong.
And another advice is that you need to know how to skim read, skip read, and scan read. So these 3 things are very important. And you need to apply these 3 methods on different CELPIP reading passages. And another thing is you need to learn how to, I mean, speed reading is one very important thing with simultaneous comprehension. Because like you need to be able to comprehend and understand everything as you're reading. So that's another important thing. I think, can you give me some tips on how to tackle reading part 4, considering time management? In my opinion, speed reading and simultaneous comprehension, because there are so many vocabulary items. Many of the students have like problems with knowing the meanings of the words. I mean, there's so many the new words in part 3 and part 4. One good way is to try to guess the meaning of the word in the context. So look at the words after and before the word and try to guess what that word means. So the questions I always ask the students when we talk about vocabulary in the reading classes is, I say, so can you use a dictionary on the test day? He says, no. Will I be there to help you? He says, no. Are you the messenger of God? He says, not yet. Not before. Can you cheat from another person's computer? So all the answers are no. So what should we do? Number 1, so study vocabulary as much as you can, as much as you can. But even if you're a native speaker of any language in the world, if you're taking like, that test in your own language, there will definitely be so many words that you don't know what they are. So what should we do here? We should try to guess the meanings of the words or try to get the sense of the word. Is this word giving a positive or a negative sense to this sentence? So these are some other things that we need to consider here. So you can send us a text message and we'll definitely respond. So can you give some tips on how to, okay, we answered this question. Reading part 4, I think everybody's got problems with reading part 4. So do you have to write notes or not? I don't recommend taking notes. So what we do is that, what we suggest in our classes, so for parts 3 and 4, the strategy we recommend is skip and scan. So what do we mean by skip reading and scan reading? So we suggest that you read the first sentence of every paragraph, the first sentence and the last sentence, the topic sentence and the last sentence. So after reading the first, because the first sentence of every paragraph is almost like, always like the topic of that paragraph, yeah, the news of the paragraph, the summary of that paragraph, the gist of the paragraph. So what we should try to do is, maybe if you read the first sentence and the last sentence, you can almost tell what the whole paragraph is about. So what we suggest is that after you read the first sentence and the last sentence, go to the other lines and quickly scan read the other lines. Do not read every single word carefully. And then you can come up with a very short summary of this paragraph. Oh, okay, this paragraph is talking about the origin of, chewing gum, because we have this chewing gum passage, like in one of those sample tests. Or you go to the next paragraph, first sentence, last sentence, scan the other lines to see if you can find the keywords in the questions, and then write another summary here. The advantages of chewing gum. The next paragraph, disadvantages. And the final paragraph, the future of chewing gum, for example. And then you go back to the questions, and when you have these summaries ready and available here, so you can find and actually relate the questions to the paragraphs much faster. And that can help you a lot. You don't need to read every single word here. By taking notes, I suggest that you write some very short summaries for every paragraph.
Yeah, those are great tips, Sarush. I even learned quite a bit from listening to those. Yeah, so just basically not spending so much time trying to read and understand every detail in the reading passages. Yeah.
Because we easily forget the content of every paragraph. But when you write it somewhere, like 3-4 words, as a very super short summary for every paragraph, then it's going to be much easier for us to find the relevant paragraph.
Yeah.
So this helps a lot. And the next one is, could you give some advice to improve grammar? Patrick.
To improve grammar. I'm not too good in the. I don't really have a teaching background. I'm the marketing guy for CELPIP. So, but basically, we do have some great webinars that you can like. We have the Writing Pro, which is on the YouTube channel, so you can watch it on demand whenever you have time. And it's led by our CELPIP instructor, Brandy. She's great, so she gives like a sample response and then analyzes what level it got and why.
Right.
And these are like 2-hour long lessons. And then we also run them live every week. So if you go to celpip.ca/webinars, you can register for a live session where you can actually ask questions to the presenter live. And then, really the best resource is getting that one-on-one time with a teacher. So that's where, Sarush can come in and his team at ILIA Academy.
We have English grammar clinic classes. So what we do is that it's just like a clinic. So we take you there and we treat you. So we give you the best medicine, and in the shortest time possible, you can visit our website at iliaenglish.ca. So, and you will see like the description for our English grammar clinic classes. So in the shortest time possible, we teach you all about grammar practically in spoken form and written form. We don't teach you formulas. So we always ask the students to feel the grammar, not to memorize the grammar. Because like you can never memorize the grammar. If you memorize the grammar, we cannot actually use it naturally when you're writing something or speaking.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I get a vaccine at that clinic, Sarush?
I'm sorry?
Can I get a vaccine at that clinic? Or
So one more time. So don't forget, those who are online right now, you can send us a direct message on Instagram, or you can text us on WhatsApp. The phone number is in the bio. You can find it over there. So, and you will receive one free of charge CELPIP class from ILIA English Academy. So thank you for sharing the code again, Patrick. And
yeah, that's for the free study product for CELPIP. Yeah. So you'll have to go to celpip.ca/store and then look for the correct product, which is CELPIP Accelerate Listening and Speaking, and then put in the code to redeem it for free. So, and that'll be live until end of day on Monday next week. So you have a couple days to redeem it, and it's really good preparation for listening and speaking for those two sections.
That's great. Yeah. And somebody has asked, I'm not able to scan and speed read. So you need to practice. Call us and we'll tell you how to do it. Yeah, because like these days, I remember like so many years ago, before like this digital era, so, and these advancements in technology, we used to touch paper. We used to read actual books. These days, nobody reads anything. We just read like short sentences on Instagram, Facebook, like social media, different platforms. And we don't touch books anymore. That's why like so many students have problems reading things and comprehending things. So we need to give you some practices. You can text us here or like text us on WhatsApp, and we'll provide you with some very good strategies on how to be a speed reader.
That's good.
The other question here. I don't see any other one here. Okay, no, there's a code again here. Okay. Oh, thank you. This is our website, iliaenglish.ca. And let's see.
I'll post the code again.
How can I get the code, please? And how to redeem it? Yeah, like you go to celpip.ca/store, and you enter the code over there, and then you will get the gifts.
Yeah, and the code is like ILIAJTXEIX. So it's that one. So
So
you type the full code in.
we'll share it on our like well Prometric. We will share it on our story today.
Yeah.
So after this live, and don't worry about it. Since I'm the host, I cannot do it. Like Patrick needs to do that, but like we'll do that for you.
Yeah,
Don't worry. And would
definitely.
you
Don't worry.
please give SOE rips on
Oh, I think they meant
tips
note-taking tips.
on note taking?
Yeah.
I just mentioned, like, I don't recommend note taking. That's what I recommend. I recommend writing summaries for every paragraph. So after reading the first sentence and the last sentence of every paragraph, scanning the other lines to see if you can find the keywords you already found in the question part on the right side. And then you write a very super short summary for every paragraph on your paper. And those summaries will help you find the relevant sentence to that paragraph much faster. Yeah.
And just a question, Saru. So,
sure.
Do you not recommend note-taking throughout the whole test, or just for writing or something?
No, like I mean, it's different from person to person. I mean, like, for example, in speaking and also listening for part 5 for the video part, we always recommend note taking, like for the video part and listening part. But we've had some students that are not comfortable taking notes. Because like some people cannot do 2 things at the same time. Listening and taking notes. Just as they start like taking notes, they get disconnected with the audio part. So it depends. We need to see like if that student is comfortable taking notes or not. So if that person is comfortable, we need to teach him how to take notes and what thing they can take notes of. So that's another point. I think.
Yeah.
So
what do you recommend? Like drawing pictures sometimes to instead of writing like the full word out,
or like doodling, or not doodling, or I can say sometimes, for example, if the keyword they want to write on the paper is comfortable, I always like recommend the students not to write COMFORTABLE, write COMF.
Yeah.
Like come up with a coding which is understandable like by yourself.
Yep.
So if it's like table, you don't need to write TABLE. Okay, it's like TL or like whatever coding you will come up with. Or you could
draw like a table or something.
Exactly. Can you share the pattern of each module, Patrick? I think you better.
Not sure what you mean by pattern, but basically listening and reading are multiple choice format, and then writing and speaking are human scored. So first you get listening, then reading, then writing, and then speaking. And you do the speaking test with the other components within 3 hours. So you don't have to come back later or the next day to do a separate speaking interview. You actually complete all the components together in one single sitting within 3 hours. So that's kind of the flow. And speaking is going to be the last component that you take. And the first 2 are going to be multiple choice response format. So hopefully that helps.
Okay. So
yeah, don't be shy. If you have any more questions for Sarush or myself, feel free to type them in.
How to score 11 in writing for CELPIP. There are so many different things that you need to consider in CELPIP writing. So there are 4 things, 4 basic things, and there are some subcategories. So TA and TR, task achievement and task response. CC, cohesion and coherence. GRA, grammatical range and accuracy. And LR, lexical resource. So what is, let me start like from here. So lexical resource. So first of all, you need to have lexical resource is all about vocabulary. So So what things should be considered in lexical resources? First is the word choice, and then natural use of vocabulary. Then you should know a lot of general vocabulary items. Apart from knowing general vocabulary items, you're also expected to know so many topical vocabulary items. So what are topical vocabulary items? Topical vocabulary items are the vocabulary items which are related to the topic of the question you've been given. If the question is about business, so you should know so many general vocabulary items, but you're also expected to know so many topical vocabulary items. If it's about immigration, agriculture, business, love, marriage, I don't know. So, and then phrasal verbs. So what are phrasal verbs? A verb and a preposition. Idiomatic expressions. So what are idiomatic expressions? For example, Patrick, ask me, Suresh, how are you today?
Sarush, how are you doing today?
I'm under the weather today. Does it mean I'm under the weather today? No, it means that I'm not feeling good today. So, but when you use I'm under the weather in the CELPIP speaking test, you will definitely impress the examiner. The examiner understands that like your level of English is not basic or elementary. So you are dominant. You have a good background of English.
Or you could say, I was going to say, it's raining cats and dogs, meaning like it's raining really hard.
Are cats and dogs coming down from the sky? Of course not. So it means that like it's raining heavily, right? Or collocations. So what are collocations? So a good example is, for example, decide is a verb, right? What is the noun form of decide? Decision. So what is the verb that is used with decision? Is to make a decision, right? So make a decision is a collocation. So we say decision collocates with make. So to make a decision is a collocation. Now listen to these two sentences. I decided to travel. I made a decision to travel. If you're the examiner, okay, imagine you're the examiner. Which of these two impresses you most? Of course, I made a decision to travel. Because I decided to travel is an elementary sentence, while I made a decision to travel is a pre-intermediate sentence. So, but I don't mean that you should bombard like the examiner with collocations and collocations and collocations. No. And then we have GRA, grammatical range and accuracy. You're expected to use a wide range of grammatical structures. So many students, when they go for the CELPIP test, in the productive skills, which are speaking and writing, so they consider all the strategies and they try to follow whatever techniques they have learned in the classes. But the one thing they don't pay attention most of the time is they don't pay attention to the grammar they're using. When the examiner reads everything, so this is beautiful, okay, correct number of sentences in every paragraph, every sentence has role, perfect. But when you read the sentences, all of them are present simple. They're all present simple. Use passive in your sentences. I mean, right time, right place, of course. Future continuous. Conditional sentences. Use conditional sentences. Past perfect. I mean, like, what right time, right place. So impress the examiner. Impress the examiner positively. I mean, like, everything should look natural in the writing part and should sound natural to the ears of the examiner. So, I mean, it's CELPIP speaking is it's a professional and standard chat with an examiner. You're not going to speak Shakespearean English with the examiner. Okay, so because so many students go for the speaking test and they memorize so many archaic and, I don't know, passive words, and they use them in their like sentences when they're speaking. And the examiner says, what? This is not the way we speak in Canada. This is not natural English. And many students think that like they will get a high score. So there's so many things that we can mention. Maybe I should change this session into a session, a class but like I prefer not to speak a lot. I mean, if you have questions, call us and we'll definitely help you.
Yeah,
So,
great solution. Yeah.
and from where can I refer sample answers worth 10 plus in writing?
We do have a resource on the CELPIP website. So if you go to celpip.ca, and then there's going to be like tabs at the top. So there's one called Prepare for CELPIP. If you put your mouse over Prepare for CELPIP, a menu is going to come down, and then you click on Score Comparison Chart. And that's where the sample responses are for speaking and writing at all the different levels. So you can see, you could compare like a level 12 written response to a level 8 for the exact same question, and the same for speaking. So once again, you go to Prepare for CELPIP on the top of the screen on the website, and then you click on Score Comparison Chart, and that's where you access the sample writing and speaking responses.
And another question, Patrick, is how easy or difficult is it to pass in CELPIP compared to IELTS?
You know, it's really, I'll start by saying there's no easy English test, so you definitely have to, learn the format, know what to expect, know what the raters are looking for when they're evaluating you. It's really, we recommend that you take the CELPIP practice test. That way you can get familiar with how the CELPIP test feels, and then compare that with other options that you have. We do have a lot of people that come to us and say, hey, I found CELPIP a lot easier than another test, but it's really up to you to do your research, figure out which test is right for you based on your skill set, because all tests are good products, but they have different features, so you need to see which features are going to showcase your English the best. So, because we don't try to force anyone to take CELPIP. We're here to give you guys information, and then that way you can make the best decision for you and your future in Canada.
Yeah. And how we get our scores in 2 tests like IELTS?
Well, right now, the government of Canada does not allow somebody to submit 2 score reports and then taking the best of each. Some other countries might accept that, but right now Canada doesn't. But once they do, then we will have to adjust accordingly and possibly allow that as well. So keep checking back on the website. But right now, the government of Canada does not allow that for any English test. But if that changes, then we will do our best to change with the times and try to accommodate that.
Scanning works better with IELTS. I guess in CELPIP is more about understanding and inference. So sometimes we need to read the whole paragraph in order to answer a question. I would say you need to do the scanning in CELPIP reading as well, but the type of scanning you do in CELPIP is different from the one that we do in IELTS. And still, I believe that you need to do scanning in CELPIP reading too. Reading the whole paragraph will be time consuming for you. So you might be a very speed reader and you may want to read all the sentences in and all the lines of a paragraph. And you may also find the right answers to all the questions. But why do we offer the strategies, and why do we ask the students to follow strategies? Why do we ask you to do scan reading, skim reading, and skip reading? The reason is right after the reading part, you're going to be doing the writing part. And then after the writing part, you'll be doing the speaking part. You need focus. You need concentration. So you will get yourself tired in the reading part. And when you go to the writing part, you need to do brainstorming for both tasks. So what we do is that the reason we present the strategies to the students is that we would like you to have the same energy and focus from the very first second of listening to the last second of speaking. this is the reason we ask you to do skim read here, scan read here, or skip read here. But you can still read all the lines of the paragraphs and find the right answers. But if there is a guarantee that you will have the focus in the writing part and in the speaking part, do it. So
Yep.
that's my recommendation. This here is the code again. Thank you. So one more time. So those who are watching us right now, you can, ILIA English Academy is giving a free session, a free CELPIP session to those who are online here. Just send us a text message on WhatsApp or here, and then we'll get back to you to tell you how that free session works. So can we use idioms in writing as well? I would say for task 1 informal email, yes. But like idiomatic expressions in most of the cases make your writing a little informal. So I would say you better use like idiomatic expressions in task 1 informal email. Patrick, do you have an answer for, or would you like to say something here about using idioms?
Probably not for this one, no. I have something to say, though, for some of the writing questions that are coming through. So did you want me to get to that, or what works?
I don't know, like, but regarding like the use of idioms in task 1 and task 2, do you have anything to add, or?
Not really. You
Okay.
pretty much summed it up well.
All right.
Yeah.
So in task 2 comes with only 2 different views, and we have to go with one. Of course, right? They give you 2 options, and you should choose one of those, so either A or B. But our suggestion to our students has always been: so you see A and you see B, you may agree with A, but you have better ideas, better structures, and better sentences for B. So choose B, like even if you don't agree with B, because it doesn't matter which one you agree with. So the thing is, you want to get a good score. Maybe you agree with A, but you don't have a lot of good structures for A. So choose B and get a higher score.
And then, if I remember correctly, Sarush, I think sometimes with that question, it will also say why the other option is not the best option.
Exactly,
so
right.
Follow the instructions, and if it does say that, then you're going to have to spend a little bit of time saying why the other option is not the best option.
Right.
So, yeah.
Okay. Do we have any other questions? Can you refer something to get good score in task 2? Okay. There are so many good materials on CELPIP.ca website.
Yeah. Definitely, like, use paragraphs, so separate your ideas. That way it's, like, cleaner and easier for the reader to read. Sarush, what's your opinion on the word count? So it's typically 150 to 200 words. Like, what do you recommend for students?
I don't recommend any of these two. I wouldn't say like 150 or 200. Because when you write 150, the examiner might think that, okay, so he or she didn't have more words to write, so maybe his or her English is not that much good. So I always not 200, because like when you write 200 and above, the examiner does not have time to read all the words. So what I recommend is something between 170 to 185, or maximum 190 or 95. I highly recommend that you try not to get even close to 200. So this is like the thing that you need to bear in mind when you are doing either task 1 or task 2. So when many students call us, like after they do the test, they call us and say, "Hey, listen, I wrote 300 words." Say, ask why? Because I'm pretty sure that when the examiner sees that I've written 300 words, I will get a higher score. No, the examiner does not have time to read 300 words. There is a reason they have written 150 to 200 words and not more. So try to write between 170 to 185. 90, maximum 195. but don't even get close to 200, please.
Yeah. Yeah, you're not writing a novel. You just gotta follow the instructions and
Yeah.
yeah.
Any trick regarding writing tasks? We just talked about, I think, both tasks 1 and 2 here. So how to improve our listening for CELPIP tests? Very good question. Merbot, right. Thank you very much for this question. So a lot of students call us and they ask us, so what are the strategies? I mean, just give us the listening techniques. The first question I ask is, have you removed the germs from your ears? So germs in our ears. Like, if we are healthy, we all be like, we do the checkup every 6 months. And I said, listen, I'm not talking about medical germs. I'm talking about lingual germs. So we don't hear because we are not exposed to English language. We don't speak, we say like we don't understand native speakers. You know why? 2 things. We don't know grammar and we don't speak with native speakers. We don't practice. We don't expose ourselves to native speakers. The entry, in my opinion, the entry to learning any language in the world is through your ears. So a baby, when a baby is born, it takes him a few months to listen to everybody around him. And he gets like, he makes some samples in his mind and folders here. And then after it's like a few months, he starts saying dad, mom, and like some other things. So we are just like a baby in English. We are non-native speakers. Okay, so we need to train these 2. So you should reach this level of listening that when you listen to an audio part, you are able to hear every single word. See, have you ever listened to Barack Obama speaking? He was the president of the United States. He enunciates every single word. You hear every single word that he uses in his speaking.
Yeah.
So you should reach this level to be able to hear every single word. So because like in CELPIP speaking, so you only have one multiple choice. It's not hard. Like work on these 2, work on these 2, train these 2. So the most, what we do in our CELPIP and like listening classes, we mostly 70% we work on these 2. We give students transcriptions, so writing down whatever they hear, every single word, like a journalist who's been to a seminar. He gets back to the office of the newspaper or magazine. He has to bring everything down onto the paper. Even one word should not be missed. Otherwise, like the day after, the readers will call and complain. So you need to transcribe every single word, then check with the full transcripts on the CELPIP.ca website. Under the start button, you will see the full script. And then the third stage, sentence by sentence repetition. Put your transcript on the side, put your headset here, play one sentence, listen, stop, repeat. Play, listen, stop, repeat. Sentence by sentence repetition. Listening, speaking. The fourth stage is the shadowing part. So what is the shadowing part? Imagine you go to your favorite singer's concert and he starts singing your favorite song on the stage. And the whole audience start to sing with that singer right at the same time. So they actually shadow the singer. So shadowing an audio part shows your mastery over that language. When you reach this level, you don't need any classes. You do, maybe 1 or 2 sessions.
That's great. Good advice.
So when you work on these 2, your reading will be improved, your speaking will be improved, your writing will be improved, all the 4 main skills, all the 4 skills, as well as the sub skills like intonation, accent, pronunciation. And when you write something, spelling, capitalization, punctuation, grammar, vocabulary, transcription, don't forget transcription, checking, sentence by sentence repetition, and shadowing. And trust me, like all your skills will be improved. Task only comes in 2 different views and I have to choose one. or this can be different patterns of writing time. I think we already answered this question. I have my test tomorrow. Good luck. Can I
Best of luck.
benefit from this? Oh, too late, but call us. We text us today. JMK Cakes. So text us today. Maybe we can do something for you. And
yeah,
any
and I was going to say,
questions?
make sure you get a good night's sleep too before your exam.
Yeah, okay. Then,
Yep.
can you refer about all the speaking patterns? Not in here. It's going to take a very long time, but we can definitely help you with that. Sandeep, right? Okay. So you can text us here. Don't forget, ILIA English Academy is giving one free of charge CELPIP session. Text us on WhatsApp or DM us here.
Yeah, that's a great offer. So definitely take advantage of it. Yep. The price is right. It's free. So
what advice can you give for the reading section, as I find the time runs so fast? I know it's all about comprehension. You need to be a speed reader, and you need to, like, the speed of reading should be adjusted with the speed of comprehension. And you should move these two together. Some of us are very fast at reading. We read very fast, but we don't understand what we just read about. So we need to get back again to the beginning of the sentence and read slowly to be able to understand what this sentence is talking about. So, okay, any other questions?
Oh, I think the person that has the exam tomorrow, they just wanted to know how they get in touch with us.
Okay, I mean, WhatsApp number, please. So you can go to our, everything is there in our bio there. 778, if you're in Canada, 778, or even if you're outside of Canada, you can still contact us. 778-929-4121. Text us on WhatsApp, or you can DM us here.
Sorry, was 778-929?
778-929-4121.
4121, okay.
4121, right. So I would like to, thanks a lot, Patrick. So I would like please to take the free section. Text us on WhatsApp or DM us here on Instagram.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, and then I was just going to mention one thing. So we do have a research study that's going on right now where we're comparing our test to some other options. So basically, if you've taken IELTS between, February 1st and August 1st, so that means that you're going to take it in the next couple weeks, you can apply for a research study. So I'm going to post the link in the chat where you can apply. But if you are selected, we're going to be selecting a lot of people, then you would get a free CELPIP test and free preparation materials for being part of this study. So, and then you can use the results for immigration. So, but you had to have taken the IELTS exam between February 1st of this year, or you're going to take it before August 1st. And it's only valid for certain regions. So if you're in Canada, you can apply, as well as parts of the U.S., Hong Kong, Singapore, Korea, Nigeria. So if you're in any of those countries, you can apply for the free research study, and then if you're selected, then you get a free examination. Right. So I'll post the link in the chat. Check it out. Whoops.
That's
screwed up that one. Yeah. Okay. Just give me a second here. I'm not good with typing with one finger. I screwed it up again. 1 second, guys.
No, that's good. Oh, okay.
Yeah, okay. There we go.
Oh, David, you're in the UK, so you can text us on WhatsApp. You can find our phone number in the bio section of our Instagram page here. 778-929-4121.
Yeah, I just posted it there. So you can visit that link. It will tell you which countries are eligible. So if you're in any of those countries, including Canada, you can apply for this study, which is free. And we will be selecting a batch of people to do this study, and you get a free CELPIP test and free test prep materials for just being a part of this study. So it's a good opportunity, and yeah, it's for those that have taken IELTS recently or are going to take IELTS recently.
Somebody's written I couldn't open it.
Couldn't open it? Try to like copy it and then paste it into like a separate browser on your phone.
So isn't that an underscore, Patrick, or is it?
It's a dash. So
It's
not
a
an
dash.
underscore.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Research dash study. We should have it on our website as well, celpip.ca. Excuse me, our Instagram should have it as well. I can also give it to you, Sarush. You can post it in your like one of your stories. Okay.
I will, for sure.
Okay. Thanks.
So, yeah. So, any more questions?
Yeah, maybe we could take one or two more, and then
we can say goodbye, I think, right?
Yeah, I'm sure lots of people are excited for the weekend and having some time off.
Right.
The weather in Canada is beautiful. How's the weather in BC?
You know, we live in Vancouver, right?
Vancouver.
So we are not in Vancouver. We are in Vancouver. So it always rains in here. So, so no need to ask. Like even in summer, like it's raining here.
So you're always under the weather.
Yeah. Right, exactly.
Yeah.
But it's not raining cats and dogs in here. No, it's not.
Okay, that's good.
No, it's not. You see, yeah. So,
do you have any like general tips for people, just general, for doing well in the exam?
I would say the most important thing, in my opinion, if you want to improve, work on your ears. I mean, train these two, and then you will see the result. We had this student from Bangladesh a week ago, 2 weeks ago, and he had this crash course with us like for 2 weeks, Monday to Saturday, and 2 or 3 sessions per day. And we gave him this activity, and like he started working on it, and he was very serious in doing it, and he did every single part. In 2 weeks, and before we started the classes with him, in the mock test that he had with us, he got a 6. He got a 6 in listening, and then after 2 weeks, he got a 10. Just after 2 weeks. And like also the other skills, like in the actual test, he got a 10 in listening, 8 or 9 in reading. No score was below 9. I mean, work on these two. And you should also know, I mean, it's not just these two, but like the first and the most important thing is working on these two. And then you will see that like so many of your problems will be resolved. And knowing good grammar, studying vocabulary, being persistent and very hardworking, because sometimes some students start classes and then they don't study. They think that like by just attending the class, they can get a high score. You need to be perseverant and persistent in what you're doing. And try to have a plan. If you need a CELPIP score, so please plan beforehand, because we have many calls. They call us today and they ask us for a crash course because like their test is, I mean, like in mid-July, sometime in July, for example. So we only have 3 weeks time or 4 weeks time to help them be prepared. So yeah, and also working on your gaps in English. If you have gaps in English, fill those gaps. So many students call us for just techniques. So what are the strategies for listening? What are the techniques for reading? Just like teach us the techniques. We don't need, grammar. But without grammar, you cannot speak. You cannot write anything. And the examiner would like to know how dominant you are over, English structures. And there are so many things that we can, and we pretty much talked about many of these things like today in this live. I try to actually keep this video, and also you can always call us and ask us your questions.
Yeah.
So
yeah, you could save this as like a stored video on your channel for people to rewatch.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Will this session be available to watch later? Yeah. Yeah, that's the question.
Yeah, should be.
So so one more time. So you can get a free CELPIP session from ILIA English Academy. You just need to DM us here or send us a text message on the school phone number, which is in the bio section of our Instagram page. So, and also Prometric is giving one free study products. So the code is here, but we will also share it on our Instagram, so you can click on it and get directed to the CELPIP website and enter the code and get the gift from the Prometric.
Perfect. Yeah, it's always a pleasure doing these sessions with you, Sarush.
Oh, my pleasure. It was great talking to you. Yeah. Thank you very much for your time, Patrick.
Anytime. Yeah, I'm always available. And yeah, we'll do another one soon. There's always lots of updates going on, new test centers, new countries that CELPIP's opening up in. So yeah, we just got the SDS approval. So now people can use CELPIP or CALE if they're applying through the Student Direct stream, the SDS stream, to come study in Canada. So we're very happy now that both CELPIP and CALE are a part of that, so that you have more options now. You don't have only one test that you can take for that pathway. So, yep. So hope everybody has a great weekend. Good luck preparing for your test. Don't be shy. Reach out to us if you need further assistance getting ready. And yeah. So until
Patrick,
the next one.
I have a suggestion here.
Yes.
So if you don't mind, let's ask everyone to write a sentence here as a comment. Like, how did you find this session today?
Sure.
Do you agree with me? So,
and you can be brutally honest. Yeah. Yeah, don't worry. You won't hurt our feelings. So,
let's see. It helps us, like, to see what we should do in the next live events together.
Yep.
Thank you. So, where can I reach out? So, you can text us here or on WhatsApp. Phone number is in the bio section. And we are also giving one free of charge CELPIP session. So, you just need to text us.
What's your number again? I'll type it in.
778-929.
Yeah.
4121. Yeah.
Okay.
And the thing is, you can get connected to our classes from anywhere in the world because we do online classes. And yeah, if you have friends who are interested, you can also ask them to text us today. Even if they didn't attend the live session today, that's fine. So
great.
It's just for today. It's just for today. It's just like this giveaway just for today. So it was really helpful. Thank you very much for the quick tips and tricks. Oh, I just tried my best because the time was very short. Like it was impossible to talk about like CELPIP in general from A to Z in like 1 hour.
For sure.
But let's try to my best to like put everything into a nutshell for you. No, this section is splendid. Thank you. Oh, okay. Lots of energy.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, best of luck on your test tomorrow, JMK Cakes.
Yep. So, thank you, Patrick. And thanks everybody for joining us today. Thank you. It was a pleasure, like, having all of you here.
Yeah. So hope everybody has a great weekend, and yeah, best of luck. Successfully migrating to Canada, taking a language test. Yeah, just don't give up. Be persistent, and use the help that you have available to you to help you maximize your chances.
And can I say one last
Sure.
thing? If you're outside of Canada, come to Canada with English.
Yeah.
Come to Canada with English. Many students ask us, how much money should we bring here? I always ask them to bring English here. Bring English.
That's the best currency.
Bring English here.
Yeah.
Bring English. You definitely can bring your money like from any other resources.
Yeah.
So, or like bring English here. Bring English here. So have a great time, everyone, and enjoy yourselves, and wish you all the best. Take care.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye.